Hey buddies, welcome to Video Games Awesome Live! We are on the eve of heading to Japan. We've told everybody there's a big announcement today, and this is it. Becky and I are moving to Japan.
Flight now, and the best part about flying Anna, is not only is it an amazing airline, we've loved every experience we've had on it so far. They have this music that they play when you get on and when you get off. There's just like really lame elevator music, but once you've heard it a couple times, like it feels at home. It's so nice. And then, you know, the Japanese flight attendants, it feels like you're already in Japan. It's the best. 10-hour flight, so forgive the blurry eyes. Seems like anytime I vlog, I'm tired, but we're gonna go check into our place, and tomorrow we'll go exploring. We have no idea what we have planned though, seriously, but it all happens as it happens. We might actually have set plans for tomorrow. Tokyo Banana might be on the itinerary, considering how banana-full it is. We've slept in kind of later than usual, which is nice. We have a good 2 weeks, so we can take it easy, which we need after last night's travails through Shinjuku Station, which, again, we've seen the effects of Shinjuku on Becky. Well, try that immediately. Not just jet-lagged after a night's sleep, but immediately after a 10-hour flight. It was bad. Her eyes were bloodshot.
I was okay, though.
We have pretty good footage of her crammed into a tube.
JY24. The doors on the left side.
This morning we washed ourselves with body soap.
Oh my god, that's amazing!
Yeah, so our plans today is to mosey on over to Nakano itself. Again, this is a neighborhood that's smaller south of Nakano. We didn't really explore it too much last time, despite it being near Koenji, but it's the one that we walked over to that one time when we went kitty hunting.
There's like a Michael Jackson mural.
See, the wacky stuff in Japan, it's also wacky. It's also crazy and different. But it is. That's why Japan's so intriguing. It's different, but the same. That's what's fun about it. I know it's typical, I know it's cliche, but showing off the weird and silly stuff that you find is part of being a Westerner in Japan. And it would be the same if a Japanese person came to the West. Hey guys, now we are in Nakano Arcade, walking up through the arcade. We actually do have some shopping to do. We need boots for Becky because she didn't bring rain footwear.
Yeah.
And
a buzzer for you.
And a razor for me because I don't like how long this is getting, and I forgot to shave before we left. My favorite part so far is the pop tunes that sound like the karaoke type, not even karaoke background. They usually, karaoke pays for like the good stuff. This is like a MIDI playing in the background. It's amazing. I think it's George Michael playing right now. Got a little treat after our ramen, and
it was 8 layers high.
Kind of like a Tokyo veteran now that I'm not quite as overwhelmed as I could be. I knew that it was gonna be crazy, but it is a nerd's paradise here, as a couple people told us. There's so much like used, especially used stuff. It's like a flea market for nerds, I think. Look at this out. And actually, we figured out our ramen machine this time. Because if you guys might remember, one of our stories was the first time we went to a ramen shop in Tokyo on our first trip. We went up to the lady and we said, ramen? And she says, no. She just wasn't willing to tell Gaijin how to make it work. So yeah, I feel like I want to definitely come back here, probably many times. We've actually been thinking we'd like to live in the Nakano neighborhood or nearby, because especially northward of here has a lot of really cheap places to live. And Nakano just feels like it has everything. Makes us feel so much more secure in making this big move to Japan,
It really
knowing
does.
that we have people, cool people to hang out with, and to, you know, give us advice and to translate for us when it's needed.
Arigato.
We had some amazing beef last night.
We did.
Some really delicious beef at this place that we keep on forgetting the name of, but we'll link to it down below.
Yeah.
They age it like 35 or 45 days.
I think the two we had was aged 30 days and 45 days.
One of them was called Flap.
Yeah, bottom flap.
Bottom Flap.
Tasty.
But it was so tenderized and delicious.
It was really good.
A little pricey, but we were treating ourselves. Then we
Yeah.
headed over to an izakaya with a little outdoor patio, and ordered all kinds of stuff off their crazy English menu.
Yeah.
We were discussing how a lot of things that Japanese eat just don't translate into an appetizing sounding thing.
Yeah.
Like, the Japanese would say their word and be like, oh yeah, some of that.
Yeah, I like that.
But when it's translated, like, you're talking about cartilage, you're talking about spleen, uterus, tongue, and I mean, there's no way to really...
You can't make that sound good. We're
I-
gonna have to learn the Japanese terms for it.
Yeah.
Because I am not being like, yo, taste some of this uterus, man. This shit's good. Temple.
And yet, all of
Another
it was really tasty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally.
And then we ended up moving over to an Okinawan style restaurant where we had some
that was
amori
fun.
and some Orion beer.
Orion.
And we
Oh,
ate
grapes,
sea
Okinawa-
grapes, and Matt was happy because he loves that stuff. And we had urchin for the first time, which is just decadent. Like, it tastes like ambrosia. It tastes
weirded
like
me out.
the most expensive tuna you can buy at a sushi restaurant. Like, it's amazing too because it's sustainable. So it could be a great
yeah,
replacement. I think you take some urchin, you toss it on a lower quality grade tuna, and then you're simulating like toro, I feel like.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It did totally weird me out, though.
so we're gonna head down in here to the station, make our way over to Akihabara, hang out with some more friends tonight, some same friends, see Ben potentially for the first time. He's in town for an unrelated reason, coincidentally, and we'll see you there. We're excited because this we're about to hit Electric Town, and this was our first ever experience with Tokyo 2 years ago. Everything looks familiar. We haven't been back since, so. Alright, we're in Electric Town and we're headed into Yodobashi Camera because I forgot a charging cable, so we have to go shop for one. And we're just gonna look at some stuff in there, maybe some Switch accessories.
Yeah.
So we're headed on into the massive Yodobashi Camera. 7 floors of like
Something like that.
electronics. I think I received probably what could be the greatest geek cred you can get. I impressed a couple Japanese guys with my stabilizer within Yodobashi Camera. You guys know that wolf on that episode where Krusty has that word of the day that is loud?
Loud? That's our secret word for the day!
That wolf is Becky.
Yep, you're losing me.
It's too bad we're hanging out in Akihabara today. We're gonna go try to find a sanctuary, which, as I've told you guys before, in Japan, if you need a break, you can find sanctuary, and we'll prove that right now. So, last night was pretty crazy. Went to a couple of places that I would like to consider my old stomping grounds. It was the original neighborhood that we stayed in on our first trip to Japan, so there was definitely like a feeling of familiarity, and it made me feel like, you know, a Kyotoian. I felt like, you know, for once it was something like I knew, and I felt like kind of like I was the veteran showing people around. We went to a couple of our favorite places. We ate some incredible food. We had like grilled scallops. We had pickles with cream cheese in them. Japanese stew.
Kimchi salad?
We had a kimchi salad. We had this grilled chicken with just slathered in mayo and garlic sauce. It was decadent.
Oh, camembert, grilled camembert. cheese
Grilled
with
camembert
honey.
with honey drizzled on top. We met like this old guy who was just hanging out and trying to steal me away from Becky.
Yeah, he was like hugging him, and I tried to fight him. It was not okay.
I just love that place. It feels like magic happens every time that you go there. Half of the footage I took at that place wasn't even by me because I was passing around the stabilizer and the phone to everybody.
What the heck? What the heck? Oh shit.
Oh, 200.
Here with me.
Oh shit.
Give it to him. Give it to him. See what he does with it. Yeah!
まだ飲んでないんだけど、頑張ります。
すごい！すごい！
We have attempted to find Ben. He said he was in a big arcade. His idea of a big arcade in Akihabara was kind of skewed. I think that we finally found the small arcade and we're approaching it now to find Ben.
In Japan.
You're in Japan. This is Matt.
Hey Matt, how's it
This
going?
is Tyler.
Hey Tyler.
So we found Ben, but we're abandoning Ben because he is in no condition to do anything. The boy's getting old, but old fresh has the endurance of a stallion. Ben was lost in Akihabara. He kind of sucks at Japan, it looks like. Everybody sucks at Japan the first time they come to Japan. That's the magic of Japan.
Yeah.
And yet you still feel safe doing it. So anyways, after that, we did not want to do anything today. Becky's brain was a little bit broken.
Yeah.
And then we went ahead and did this. And it was a fun time, and it was also our first time being at that type of, I don't even know what the name of that type of concert is with all the
Yeah.
flashy things and stuff, but it was interesting.
It was wild.
But
it was cool. It was cool.
we weren't even sure Becky was gonna be able to do anything, and then we walk into that, and I was like, can you do this? But she did it.
That was good. And then we had some awesome all-you-can-eat pizza.
Ah, yes, we're coming back right now from All You Can Eat Pizza.
Shaky.
So I finally had some pizza in Japan, and it was
Yes.
tasty. Tons
We
of
had-
little slices, all kinds of different kinds, anything you want, all you can eat.
We had the corn and mayo pizza.
We had 4 cheeses on top of apple slices, which was delicious.
That one was really good.
I had anchovies for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
It's like you took every fish in the ocean and concentrated it into one fish. The fishiness of every fish. Good fish doesn't taste like fish, and anchovies must be like the devil of fish. Tomorrow is Typhoon Day. It's probably gonna be the worst that it's rained in years they're calling for, unless the typhoon's making like a U-turn or something like that, but we'll see. All I know is I don't want to do anything tomorrow.